weather. We are once again live, getting ready for this second wave of winter weather that's going to be happening towards northern, central, and possibly even southern Mississippi tomorrow morning. Just a quick little update, not really a quick update, I guess should say. That was the wrong words. But an update here on our weather, planning on being live for the next several hours, getting ready um, for tomorrow, getting everyone prepared, and even what's going to happen throughout the night hours tonight. Some freezing rain still in portions of northern Mississippi right now, but we're getting ready for the second wave of winter weather tomorrow morning. And so, like always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. The first thing we're going to look at is actually going to be a traffic cam from Starkville, Mississippi. Here you can really see freezing rain on those poles, on those wires, possibly adding some weight to power poles across northern Mississippi. And so remember, freezing rain is rain that falls on contact with the surface of the ground. Freezing rain is not frozen until it hits the ground. And so the way frozen rain um, is measured via accumulation is simply how much rain has fallen. And so, I mean, definitely upwards of a half inch of freezing rain has happened in most of northern Mississippi so far already. And so it's a little different than ice accumulation. Ice accumulation would be anything that is frozen when it hits the ground. Freezing rain is not measured based on being frozen when it hits the ground. It's simply however much rain has hit the ground and then um, frozen. So basically, an inch of freezing rain accumulation is not going to be like an inch thick of ice on the ground. That's not normally how it works. And so that's where we're sitting right now. Do you think we will get ice in Bude, Mississippi? Um, Great question. I have been to Bude before. I actually intercepted a tornado over in Bude um, last, what was it, December. Yeah, December of 2024. Yeah, December of 2020. Yeah, 2024, whenever the EF3 went through um, out there. Yeah, let me check on Bude, Mississippi. I do think that Bude is in an area that we're kind of in that window where we don't know if we're going to have freezing rain. We don't know if we're going to have just rain. But I think it's getting more likely that areas out here in Franklin County, I do believe, yeah, this is Franklin County, will more than likely see freezing rain tomorrow morning, and that is spanning from anywhere from 6 a.m. to midday. It could honestly start as early as 3 a.m. That's where we're looking at right now. Good question about Bude, Mississippi. I think that's where we're looking right now. Right now for Bude, out here, just some light rain moving into the area. Overall, most of the freezing rain potential would be way off to the west as of right now. But we could see some of that freezing rain make its way into Franklin County tomorrow morning. But like I said, it's still a rough, probably 50-50 shot on whether Bude gets a good bit of freezing rain or if it gets nothing. It's just going to depend on where the temperatures are. Next thing I'm going to go ahead and put up is actually going to be the temperatures. Um, let's see. Let's show only the temperature as of right now. So, northern Mississippi already below freezing. What about Jackson, Mississippi? You have to work in the morning. Great question. And so I would say Jackson and Butte are actually in the same kind of boat here because they're about northeast of each other almost. Jackson also seeing that freezing rain potential in the morning. And I can actually go into that right now. Let me open a new Chrome tab and then get this started for you. Here, let me pull up what I'm thinking here. So here's the HRRR, which is what I'm going with here. I think the HRRR is doing a great job at looking at our winter weather for tonight and into tomorrow morning. I thought it's done a great job with this morning as well. And so what the HRRR shows is that in the morning hours, this is starting at um, 3 a.m. By 3 a.m., freezing rain starts making its way into central Mississippi. And then by the time we get to 6 a.m., freezing rain has made it to Jackson and has made it to Bude, those two areas you were asking about. And so I still think it's a hit or miss chance. It's really going to depend on where the freezing point is. But we're definitely looking at a potential for freezing rain in Jackson and Bude. And if you're traveling from Bude to Jackson, I would be very careful with frozen roadways and with black ice tomorrow morning. But that's really what we're looking at right now. Is it's looking very likely that freezing rain happens in Butte and in Jackson. And so, like, someone hears an inch of freezing rain and thinks, oh, that's like a lot of freezing rain. And I do agree that is a lot of freezing rain, but that does not really mean that um, you'll go up to a tree limb and see an inch of freezing rain around a tree limb. Simply that means an inch of rain has fallen and then it froze on contact with the ground. And so, I mean, some areas will see upwards of near 2 inches of freezing rain in Mississippi throughout this entire system. Going back to the full system here, um, we're seeing 32 degrees in Louisville right now, 32 in Starkville. Some of these areas that it's showing in green, in these greens, actually, I do think it's having freezing rain currently. And that's because it's falling as rain, but then as soon as it hits the surface, the rain is freezing. And so you get freezing rain. And so I really think that still most of this area in northern Mississippi is a light freezing rainfall. And especially the farther up north you go, you got 30 degrees in Tupelo right now, 28 in Oxford. What is this? 23 in Batesville. And so still freezing rain across northern Mississippi, but even some heavier showers down towards the Gulf Coast right now. I'll once again pull up the Starkville traffic cam. This is what we're looking like in Starkville. Freezing rain on those power poles. Next thing we're going to look at is going to be power outages here in just a second. Let me go back over to the radar real quick. Let's see how the power grid is handling up in northern Mississippi. Right. Moving it over. This is where we're sitting in Mississippi right now. Right now, about 3,000 customers out of power right now. And so that is households out of power right now. And some of those, most of those in the northwestern side of Mississippi. 224 customers out in Carroll County. That is 20% of the county out of power in Carroll County. 13.4% of Yazoo County out. That is 175 houses out of power. Sharkey County, the worst one on the map so far. Sharkey County, 407 customers out. That's 23% of the county. So overall, about 3,000 customers out of power right now across Mississippi. And I really think this is going to get much worse, especially because the second wave we're looking at tomorrow morning is looking to be way more potent than the round of ice showers we had this morning, I should say. And so that's where we're sitting right now. Already power outages across northern Mississippi, and it's only going to get worse from this point. Next question is about Philadelphia, Mississippi. I'm going to pull up my forecast here just real quick because that's going to help me remember what my notes are for a system like this. Okay, we just had pictures sent in to the Magnolia State Weather Community, so that means I can show these. Let's go ahead and pull these up right now. This is in the Magnolia State Weather Community. This is our Facebook group. This is from Jessica in Grenada, Mississippi. I want to thank you for sending this in. I'll get right back to the Philadelphia question in just a second. This is showing freezing rain on roofs in Grenada, Mississippi. On plants, this plant completely covered in ice right now. Ice also on more plants on this household, and really seeing lots of ice accumulations here in Greenville, not in Greenville, in Grenada. So I want to thank Jessica for sending this in. Anyways, we're going to go back to Alcorn, not Alcorn, Philadelphia, sorry. Let me find that forecast that I had. Okay, so here's what we're looking at right now. Okay, here's my forecast for right now. Philadelphia, which is in Neshoba County. I cannot count out the chances of you getting freezing rain tomorrow morning. And I'm sorry that you're in that range where I don't know. But it's really going to depend on 1 or 2 degrees whether you get freezing rain or whether you just get rain. Sorry, I'm sorry my words a little bit. Just a little tired. But Neshoba County, just know you could be 1 or 2 degrees from either maybe a half inch of freezing rain, or just having rain. And so, really, what I would think would be the problem here for Neshoba County is tomorrow morning, if anything, let's say you get no freezing rain. If you get just rain, it's still going to freeze on Saturday night or Sunday night. I'm sorry, and it's going to freeze over, and you're going to have a black ice potential. However, maybe the freezing rain does happen in Neshoba County, and so then you get that freezing rain on some power lines, and you might have some problems with power outages, and maybe some roads become impassable and become frozen. And so it's a great question for Philadelphia, Mississippi, because it's simply we don't know. It's right in that area of the battle zone between the freezing point and the non-freezing point tomorrow morning. And so I'm sorry I can't give you a definitive answer, but that's where we're sitting right now for Neshoba County. I want to take a moment and remind you, if you haven't and you have any pictures you would like to send in, please send them in the Magnolia State Weather community. I would say for Philadelphia, just be ready for either one. Be ready for no freezing rain or be ready for rain, because honestly, no matter what, that rainfall that you have, if you don't have any freezing rain, is just going to freeze over tomorrow night anyway. And so just be ready for frozen roadways tomorrow night anyway. All right, I just sent out a repost of the Magnolia State Weather Community group on Facebook. If you go and join that group, you can send pictures in, and it allows us to show pictures of what's going on across Mississippi. Next up, we'll go back to the radar, and like I said, really the radar is not showing um, too much freezing rain across North Mississippi right now, but we still definitely have some lingering rain that is at least freezing by the time it makes it to the ground in northern Mississippi. I'll go back to a little sciencey stuff here. Let's go to about right now. Actually, here's what I'm curious about. Let's do this. Let's go back to the MDOT traffic cam in Starkville. Let's switch over to this real quick. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to go look at soundings from the National Weather Service. And so the one I'm very curious to look at is going to be Jackson, Mississippi. So here we go. Let me pull up Epic Pen real quick, and then we will break down the sounding of what's happening in the atmosphere right now. So here's where we are sitting with the um, sounding right now. I'm trying to make sure that internet's working fine. If I'm cutting in and out, please let me know. Um, it's kind of hard to tell if I'm cutting in and out right now, but that's what some stream stuff is showing me right now. So here's the sounding from Jackson, Mississippi this morning. Not this morning, at 6 p.m. tonight. And so right now, Jackson was sitting at 38 degrees at the surface. It never works. Let's retry that. All right, here we go. So Jackson, Mississippi, sitting at 38 degrees at launch time. So that's 38 degrees at the surface. All you got to do is lose a few more degrees, and all of a sudden you're talking about freezing rain in Jackson, Mississippi. And so here's the problem of why we're not seeing snow, and why is it freezing rain, and why is it maybe not sleet? Why is it not what am I going to here? Why is it not sleet? Why is it not what's the other word? I'm sorry, I can't remember it right now. But why are we having only freezing rain? And that's because we have 38 degrees at the surface, but then roughly a kilometer into the atmosphere, temperatures are all of a sudden near 50, 60 degrees at about a kilometer up in the atmosphere. And so what's happening is the rain's just falling from the sky as normal precipitation, and then by the time it reaches the surface, the surface is frozen, and so the rain touches the surface, and you have freezing rain, and so that means it's just raining, but it's freezing when it hits the surface, and so that's what we're looking at across Mississippi as of right now. One very interesting thing to look at is the hodograph across Jackson, Mississippi tonight. If if temp, if temperatures were 30 degrees warmer, we'd be looking at a big time severe weather threat because wow, that is a lot of rotation in the lower atmosphere. However, temperatures are simply too cold. You do not have the thermodynamics for it. You only have the kinematics for a system like this. But yes, this is why we're having freezing rain and not sleet or snow, is because simply it's only cold on the surface, it is too warm in the lower atmosphere. Going back to the MDOT traffic cam in Starkville, this is just a perfect example of what we're looking at with ice on the power lines. This is what we're looking at right now. I can actually go ahead and play this. There we go. And so that's where we're sitting right now. If you have any questions about a specific location, please feel free to send in questions. It's kind of how we keep this going here with our live streams. But yeah, it looks like traffic's going smoothly still in Starkville. Just that freezing rain that's already on the power poles. And so I've been talking to some of my friends, some of my fellow meteorology majors that are in Starkville still. And so one of my major concerns is the fact that you already have a coating of freezing rain around the Golden Triangle. It's not like you haven't seen any freezing rain accumulations just yet. And so, with tomorrow's wave coming through and a lot more freezing rain expected tomorrow, really, Starkville and the Golden Triangle has gradually put itself into um, basically the middle of this winter storm just a little bit. Now, of course, like the Golden Triangle region is not going to see as much accumulation as like Greenwood or Oxford has seen with this system. But I mean, you already have accumulation on multiple power poles and just a lot of things up in northern Mississippi. And so, if you already have a coating of freezing rain and you have more freezing rain come tomorrow, that freezing rain is not really going to have to make anything 32 degrees. Everything's already going to be cold enough to start freezing. And so any freezing rain you throw on top of any of these areas in North Mississippi is just going to continue and it's just going to continue and continue to add ice onto power lines and onto vehicles. So that's why I'm very concerned with our power outage potential tomorrow across northern Mississippi and really across most of Mississippi, because any rain tomorrow, even if it doesn't freeze, but any rain tomorrow, any liquid that's on the ground is going to freeze tomorrow night. It's going to happen. We're going to have a major black ice potential and a black ice threat across the Magnolia state, and that spans all the way from Memphis all the way to Pascagoula. Even on the coast, rain that is on the ground will freeze on Sunday night. And so be careful. You're not going to be able to see black ice until you're spinning. And so that's what you need to remember here. Going back to what our radar is looking at right now, in case you're just tuning in, freezing rain still across most of northern Mississippi right now, but lots of just steady rainfall across southern Mississippi as of right now. We'll go to the single radars right now to kind of zoom into what's going on in South Mississippi. I mean, you have heavy showers across South Mississippi right now, spanning from um, southeastern Louisiana all the way through Pearl River County, Stone County, George County. What is this? Harrison, Hancock, and Jackson counties as well. Southern Mississippi and coastal Mississippi really getting a lot of rain right now tonight. As we continue up towards northern Mississippi, you got some freezing rain that's really coming down up there. I mean, you have a big rain shower, I should say, that spans over Winona, across Highway 82 and down towards Ackerman and Louisville. And so all of this could definitely be freezing rain. So what's happening is it's falling from the cloud as rain, but then as soon as it touches the surface, it starts freezing. And that's because it's 31 degrees in Winona, 32 degrees in Louisville right now. And I mean, even some more smaller showers, like up here near Calhoun City, Houston, West Point. I mean, what Columbus is coming in at 34 degrees right now, but we're seeing like 32 in Aberdeen, What is this? 23 in Batesville. So cold enough conditions to have spotty freezing rain showers in northern Mississippi. And I know that's a poor word for it because it's not like you have ice falling from the sky, but more than likely it's raindrops that are freezing when they hit the surface. And so if we move back to a winter weather radar, let's go back into Louisiana right now because this is what's going to be moving into Mississippi here across the next few hours. Plenty of freezing rain and precipitation that's going to be moving into Mississippi across the next several hours. And so we were talking about how northwestern Mississippi is going to get a break tonight, and that is true. But really, we're going to see consistent rainfall and freezing rain across northern Mississippi throughout the night. And so you might get some breaks before tomorrow morning, but just know you might have small amounts that still accumulate overnight, and that's going to keep fueling our power outage threat tomorrow morning. I'll go back to the Starkville cam right now. I'm really using it to transition from things. Um, that just shows our story with the power lines right now. We'll actually go and try to find another sky cam right now. Give us a little something different to look at. Let's go up to northern Mississippi. Let's go up to South Haven. As of right now, South Haven, plenty of snow on the ground up there and freezing rain on the ground. You got a mix of ice and snow up in South Haven right now. This is, see, where exactly is this? This is near State Line Road in South Haven. Next question is, what about Meridian, Mississippi? That's a good question. I personally think Lauderdale County and Meridian will not see any freezing rain with this system. However, all the rain that you're going to have today and tomorrow will freeze on Sunday night. So beware, black ice is possible on Sunday night and Monday morning, and then even into Monday night. And so while you might not have rain that's going to freeze on contact with the surface, the rain you will have is going to freeze Sunday night. So just be aware of that. Has state decided has state decided on school yet? Is a question. That is referring to Mississippi State. Yes, Mississippi State has went virtual on Monday. We'll look at models here in a little bit. Not really seeing a lot of ice dangling from power lines here up north near South Haven, but they've seen a lot more snow than they've seen ice, it seems like. So that's probably why. I've been way more worried about freezing rain than snow with a system like this because that just means rain covers a power line and then it freezes, and then it covers a power line and then it freezes. It's not like you have little pellets of ice falling on the ground. Switch over to the radar real quick. Next thing I'm going to look at, I completely forgot what I was about to look at. Next up, we'll go up to Saltillo. Actually, Saltillo is not showing anything. Blue Springs, nothing to see in Blue Springs. Just kind of looking around to find out where um, we should be looking for potential ice accumulation on power lines. Here's a view from Oxford, Mississippi. Oxford, Mississippi, plenty of ice on the ground there in Oxford. Oxford, Ole Miss has canceled school tomorrow, from what I hear. I think it's a full cancellation of class in Oxford. Not tomorrow, but on Monday. Sorry. But lots of ice on the ground in Oxford, and it looks like several people still trying to travel around here on this is I think Highway 6. Next up, what is the this is saying that it's 34 degrees up near are up in Iuka. I don't believe that right now. Let's go to the Highway 49 bridge right now. I think they might have closed the Highway 49 bridge from what it's looking like. This is on the Arkansas side of the Mississippi River, but we're going to look at it right now. Lots and lots of ice on the ground over in northwestern Mississippi. Come back to the radar real quick, and we're going to pull up the power outages once again and look at those. So here's where we sit with our power outages across the state. We have now crossed over 4,000 power outages. You remember a few minutes ago, I was talking about how we had 3,000 households out. We are now over 4,000 customers out across Mississippi. This is because now 31% of Sharkey County is out of power. This is also 25% of Carroll County out of power, 13% of Yazoo County out of power. So 4,207 households out of power right now. 806 of those in Tishomingo County, 631 in Panola County, 554 in Sharkey County, 311 in Carroll County, 212 in Atala County, 175 in Yazoo County, 166 in Holmes County, and 158 in Oktibbeha County. So we have now started to see power outages in Oktibbeha County as well. Outages by utility. Well, Entergy currently almost 2,000 households out of power. Tishomingo County EPA has over 800. Tallahatchie Valley EPA with 660 out. And then 4 County EPA with over 300 outages right now. This is something we will continue to monitor closely here on Magnolia State Weather, is the power outage threat. And I've been saying that this is the biggest threat with this system is with freezing rain, you're going to have power outages, and especially with tomorrow morning, and we're going to see more and more and more freezing rain accumulation on power lines. We're going to continue to see power outages across a lot of northern Mississippi and possibly even into parts of southwestern Mississippi as well. We'll go back to the MDOT to an MDOT traffic cam in Starkville once again. This is just going to be something we continue to watch in northeastern Mississippi regarding the power lines. Here's a great view of one. Just found a great view. See if this camera decides to load. Let's see if it can figure itself out. Did this lose power? Yep, camera view currently unavailable. Sorry about that. I'm not expecting the... Did this area of Starkville just lose power? These cameras are not loading anymore. So we were just talking about it. Let's go back to the other camera to a little farther west in Starkville. There we go. All of a sudden, a lot of MDOT traffic cams not working in Starkville. If anyone has any updates about Starkville, please let me know. All right, here we go. This is what we're looking at in Starkville. That freezing rain on those power lines, and I know we keep coming back to the same power lines and just doing the same thing. We're going to have to continue to watch these power lines in particular, because this gives us a little insight to that freezing line, because Starkville is one of those locations that's right into the freezing zone with freezing rain. And so Starkville is going to be a big indicator on what the minimums with this system are, or what the minimums are with this system. Hello, JR. How's your evening going? Let's reload the power outage map real quick. We're still sitting at the same amount of power outages our last update 12 minutes ago. So we're going to continue to look at the power outages across northeastern Mississippi. I think that is still the main story, because if people cannot get power restored, Sunday night's going to be very difficult as temperatures drop into the teens and maybe even into the single digits on Sunday night and even on Monday night as well. A question was asked about Caledonia, Mississippi. Let's look at that. Caledonia, Mississippi currently. If I remember where Caledonia is. I know people from there. Oh, I don't remember where Caledonia is. Oh, there it is. Caledonia going through probably either rain or freezing rain as of right now. I'll have to bring the temperatures back up once again to really see which one it is. All right, we already have that out as of right now. So Caledonia is probably near freezing as of right now. It's either rain or freezing rain currently going down in Caledonia right now. But Caledonia, in the same situation as Starkville, will more than likely see freezing rain in the morning. One thing that I will be working on for future live streams, especially, is I'm currently working on different code that's going to give us different things to talk about on these live streams. Specifically, I'm currently writing stuff that's going to tell us like headlines, like power outages in specific locations, school closures, um, closed roads. I'm working on code that's going to get that all figured out, where we can simply have a list of things that are happening around Mississippi whenever it comes to any weather event. And so that's something we're going to continue to look at. The next question is Brandon, Mississippi. So, Brandon, Mississippi, in Rankin County, is in a hit or miss area, is what I would say. So tomorrow morning, I'd say it's likely. I want to say it's over a 50% chance that you get freezing rain in Brandon tomorrow morning. However, it is still totally possible that doesn't happen, because Brandon is in the no man's land. It's going to be 1 or 2 degrees that's going to determine whether you have freezing rain or whether you have only rain. But just know that tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, any rain that falls, if it's only rain, will freeze tomorrow night, if anything. So beware of frozen roads, and beware that maybe freezing rain happens tomorrow morning in Brandon. Next question is Macomb, Mississippi. So Macomb, Mississippi, down here in Pike County. I believe this is Pike County. Um, Yeah, this is Pike County. Macomb and Pike County, Mississippi. I'd say that your chances of seeing freezing rain tomorrow are probably a little lower. However, trace amounts to maybe a little bit of freezing rain is possible, but for the most part, I think you're probably safe tomorrow. But I would say don't count out the possibility of some freezing rain accumulation tomorrow morning. But the same thing, any rain will freeze over tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow night. So just be ready for either situation. You're just right there on that freezing point that models are showing. I'm actually going to go ahead and show you right now, at least Macomb is just rain for now. We wouldn't see any freezing rain possible until tomorrow morning. I'm going to move over to the traffic cam real quick, and we're going to get ready to look at weather models. And so here is the HRRR model. This is what we have as of right now. HRRR showing Currently, that wintry mix across northern Mississippi, all these showers across south Mississippi. But as we move ahead into tomorrow morning, the HRRR showing freezing rain into southern Mississippi and into the Jackson metro area. This is what we're watching. The HRRR being very aggressive as to how far east freezing rain will make it. And so this shows freezing rain stopping before Pike County, which is why I'm still kind of saying Macomb might see something, but more than likely it's not going to happen. But this shows freezing rain possible all the way into what is that, a Mike County, a Copiah County, Rankin County, um, into parts of Leake County, um, all the way through Oktibbeha County, and then into parts of Winston County. So that is showing the freezing point, making it way farther east than any other model. It's showing. I do think that the HRRR is right in this case, because the HRRR has been very correct about this entire system throughout the duration so far. The HRRR got this morning correct and got this afternoon correct. And so that's why I believe that the freezing rain is possible in southwestern Mississippi tomorrow morning. I want to go ahead and I'm pulling up something on the radar while we keep looking at this little traffic in Starkville. I want to see what radar estimates of rain are as of right now. How much freezing rain have we potentially seen in northeastern Mississippi? Not northeastern, I just mean northern Mississippi, sorry. It's going to take it a second to load. That's why we're looking at this area in Starkville. But remember, we've been talking about power outages. I still think power outages will be possible in southwestern Mississippi. But why am I so worried about tomorrow? Well, tomorrow's ingredients look a lot more favorable for heavy freezing rain and heavy rainfall. We are talking about that severe weather threat into southern Mississippi and Gulf Coast Mississippi. But that the same things that are supporting that severe weather threat towards the Gulf Coast and in southern Mississippi is also what is supporting um, possibly thunderstorms and possibly thunder. I mean, thunder ice, I guess you could call it, into northern Mississippi, because there's going to be lots of rising motion. There's going to be lots of rain falling fast. And so that's what's going to cause a lot of freezing rain tomorrow in Mississippi. This is still loading. I'm trying to see if this will load right now. I see the question on Natchez. I'll get to you on that question in just a second. I'm trying to get this to load on my radar in just a second. Okay, there we go. So for Natchez, I do think that freezing rain is definitely possible tomorrow morning, and I actually am convinced that it will probably happen in Natchez tomorrow. Um, I think honestly, maybe freezing rain upwards of a half inch of freezing rain is possible tomorrow. Now, just because I say a half an inch of freezing rain, don't think that you're going to go to a tree limb and see an inch of ice on each side of it. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about an inch of rain that falls and freezes as it touches the surface. You're not necessarily going to be able to see that too much, but it's definitely enough to freeze roadways and to take out power lines. And I really think that Natchez will probably see freezing rain tomorrow, but the possibility of it not happening is still there. This is what we're looking at for for the storm totals of rain so far. And this is assuming that everything is liquid. This is not assuming anything's freezing. Um, Areas upwards of an inch and a half towards the Mississippi Louisiana state line, maybe towards an inch in Greenville. A lot less rainfall, it seems, than what was expected so far. But I mean, you already have an inch of rain or freezing rain on the ground in portions of northern Mississippi, and we still have another inch and a half to go, more than likely, for areas in northern Mississippi. So what I'm thinking about doing tonight is I'm probably gonna end the live stream sometime around 9, maybe before that. But what's gonna happen is I'll go to sleep earlier tonight and I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow morning because that's when we're potentially seeing that freezing rain threat coming back into Mississippi tomorrow. And that's when we're gonna start seeing problems. If I come back to the weather model, to the HRRR, this shows the second wave of freezing rain starting to move into Mississippi by, let's see, this is at 2 a.m. More freezing rain across northern Mississippi that will really start to take out power. And then by around 3 a.m., sorry, what did I just look at? I was looking at something wrong. This shows more freezing rain moving into northwestern Mississippi by about 10 p.m. But then tomorrow morning at roughly 3 a.m., freezing rain moves in from Louisiana into Mississippi, and it really starts settling into southwestern Mississippi and areas south of I-20 by 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. tomorrow morning is whenever I think we're really going to start really seeing the biggest of the freezing rain threat across all of Mississippi for the entire event. And that's going to really hammer in for about 3 to 4 hours. And then it should all be out of here, um, at least out of South Mississippi, by noon. I think the entire system will more than likely move out by 3 or 4 p.m. Maybe freezing rain ends before that. But that's where we're getting at right now. Okay, I got two questions right now. The first one is Decatur and Union, Mississippi. The other one is Lauderdale County. Very good questions right there. And so this is what the HRRR shows as of right now, as far west as he's making it, as freezing rain making it. But I will pull up my forecast because I think that's the easiest way for us to look at it as of right now. And so here's where I'm sitting. Um, so you have Union and Decatur. I know Union is basically on the border close to Neshoba and Newton counties. And so I'll go through Neshoba, Newton, and Lauderdale County all together right here. I think Neshoba County will definitely could see freezing rain. However, Neshoba County is still in the region where um, maybe you get a half inch of freezing rain, maybe you get nothing. Neshoba County is just in that area where 1 or 2 degrees is going to be the difference between freezing rain and rain. So just be fluid in that. I know I can't give you a very definite answer on that for Neshoba County, but that's where we're looking at right now. You're on that freezing point. It just depends on where that freezing point is. In one spot, you could have an inch of freezing rain on the ground. 5 miles over, you could have nothing. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're looking at in the yellow areas on this map, which includes Neshoba County. Newton County, for the most part, I don't think you'll get any major accumulation. But if Newton County got anything, I think more than likely, at the most, it would be maybe a quarter of an inch of freezing rain, which is not really going to do much of anything, especially if it doesn't stick all that much. Um, for Lauderdale County, I really think that Lauderdale County will more than likely see nothing. I'm not taking out the possibility of maybe seeing a trace amounts of freezing rain, but I really think Lauderdale County is in the clear. Actually, is this the wrong forecast? This is not my updated forecast. Hold on. I knew something looked wrong. Sorry. That was wrong. I just showed the wrong forecast. Sorry. Here we go. Here's the updated forecast, which shows the same thing for Neshoba County, Newton County. Same thing I just said, but also Lauderdale County. You're more than likely going to see nothing. I was looking at this weird. I like looked at the date and I was like, this is not the right forecast. Sorry. Just slight bits of adjustments between my two forecasts, but overall, what I just said to you for those three counties is still what I'm expecting. I will probably adjust this in the morning, this forecast, but it's totally possible that lots of these areas get no freezing rain, but that threat is still there. And I'd rather give you the most I think is possible for an area and then it be underplayed, especially for a situation like this. Like, I don't think a trace amount of ice is very likely in Lauderdale County, but I wouldn't say that those chances are zero. I want to rattle up the dog. Let's go over to the MDOT traffic cam just real quick. All right. Quick little 45-minute break or quick little 45-minute show we had real quick. I'll be right back in a few minutes to keep looking over the weather and to keep looking at questions. But I'm about to go take a break just real quick to go do something. Not gone just real quick. I can go ahead and answer another question or two, but I'm going to go for about 5 to 10 minutes. But I'm going to keep the live stream going. I'm going to keep the radar on. I'm going to keep the traffic cam on. I'm just going to take a quick little breather. So if you want to do the same thing, you can. But just trying to get the winter weather radar loaded across my screen so that I can leave it there while we um, take a quick break. Does this work? Oh, this does work. I forgot that this works right now. Forgot that we had this little um this two little system here. Waiting for the MRMS to update just real quick. There's lots of data going on. So I'm waiting for that to update so that this can play through as we're taking the break. But I'm going to go for a few minutes. I'll be back in roughly 5 to 10 minutes. So go ahead. I mean, if you're enjoying watching the weather coverage, go get some snacks, whatever it may be. But I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, we are back. Um, sorry, I had to go do something real quick. We're back, and I had a question over the time that I wasn't here about Hazelhurst, Mississippi. If I believe that right, that is in Copiah County. I would say Hazelhurst is looking um, likely for freezing rain tomorrow. Now, I say likely in terms of above a 50% chance of freezing rain tomorrow. Uh, that's just because I believe what the HRRR is going with. However, I would still say be ready for either situation. Don't be mad if you don't get freezing rain. Feel blessed if you don't get freezing rain. But overall, it looks likely that Hazelhurst gets some freezing rain tomorrow at least. And really, the amount of freezing rain it would be is just unknown. Um, but definitely, it's looking like if the HRRR model happens, that you would more than likely see freezing rain that would block roadways, and that would potentially take out power. What a good question there. Let's see how many minutes we can go until one of the golden doodles comes and greets us during the live stream tonight. I want to say tonight has gone pretty well. I want to once again say thank you for everyone that comes out for these live streams, and that allows me to do weather coverage for them. In case you didn't know, yes, I am affiliated with meteorology. I'm not just somebody running a page for clicks. I'm actually out here against that. While I do post things trying to get um, likes and whatever it might be, I do that with accurate information. Like, for example, I use emojis in my posts. That just generally has better engagement, but none of the stuff that I'm going to put in my post is ever going to be clickbaity. I like to give you the information that you need to know, and I like to be informational. That's the reason Magnolia State Weather is here, because I really feel like other weather pages that cover the state are simply not that good. And so that's why I'm here. I'm a junior meteorology major at Mississippi State University. Next year, I'll be a senior. I'll graduate with my bachelor's, and then I will also be getting my master's immediately after that. So that's who I am, just in case you're curious. But Magnolia State Weather's been doing amazing over the last few days. We've gained over 3,000 followers this year alone. So this time last year, we were sitting at under 1,000 followers. And so that's how we're doing right now. We've gained a lot of traction in the past year, a lot of traction in the past 21 days, and we're going to continue with that, especially into severe weather season. Um, we're continuing to work on our graphics. I'm a one-man team, so everything I do is by myself. Um, but lots of potential with Magnolia State Weather, and now and into the future. Coming back to the radar now, freezing rain over northern Mississippi north of I-20. Lots of heavier rain showers for southern Mississippi as of right now. We're starting to see cooler conditions making their way farther south as we go into the night. We've now seen the radar kind of adjust for cooler conditions along the Highway 82 corridor, and as well, we've also seen that to the north of Natchez right now. Now, I do not believe that temperatures are even near freezing still in Natchez. I can actually double check that as of right now. Let's look. Right now, 34 degrees is what I'm seeing from Natchez. 36 degrees at um, the Natchez Adams County Airport, but also seeing 34 at the Concordia Parish Airport. So Natchez actually getting lower and lower and closer to freezing rain. But like I said, I'd expect freezing rain in Natchez tomorrow morning. One thing I want to give a shout out to with Magnolia State Weather is I think I just looked at it. We are sitting at, see what it was. We are sitting right at 700,000 views for the day today. So, I mean, we are still going for the fifth day in a row of breaking our viewer record for a day. And I know we're going through this massive ice storm, and I don't normally want to go through all this, but I can't believe the overwhelming support that I've had from everyone that watches Magnolia State weather. It really means a lot, especially of just being a one person student meteorologist. It really means a lot, but I really love serving the people of Mississippi and giving you the weather information you need. We can only go up from here. We can only get better technology from right here. And I'm in the middle of coding a lot of good stuff for our live streams for Magnolia State weather. Hopefully, um, by our next severe weather event, or maybe winter weather event next week. Who even knows at this point? Maybe we'll have new stuff on the live streams. I'm definitely working on maybe something in like the corner that goes through towns of Mississippi and maybe has like the temperature, the conditions, whatever it may be. Just little things to add to the live stream to spice it up a little bit. But hopefully before too long, maybe we can get a little funding and maybe we can get barren weather, which would easily make this way easier um, than it is right now. Let's find another sky cam we can look at right now. I keep saying sky cam; these are traffic cams. Find another traffic cam we can get. We have some in West Point. Don't know if any of the ones in West Point are going to show us anything. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything in West Point right now that's going to be very interesting to look at. But if we go further north towards Saltillo, I think this is a good one to look at. We switch the video here and play it. Saltillo, you can definitely see, I think that looks like some ice still on the ground in Saltillo, but roads still passable up in Saltillo. So that's good to see, at least as of right now. Come back over to the radar just real quick. We're going to look at the power outages once again. We're going to let's see how we've come so far with the power outages. Let's see if the number is still growing. Like so weird. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can online, but oh my gosh, we have so many questions with this system, and I understand. I totally get it. My favorite thing is not. My favorite thing is explaining that your weather app is not good at freezing rain. Um, Multiple people saying, "Oh, it says it's not going to get below like 36 in this area tomorrow." Well, that's your weather app saying that, and all of the weather apps are automated. Like that's the hardest thing to get at. I'm not. There's no reason for me to even argue it, really. So I'll come back to the live stream to see if I can answer any questions. Nobody's asked any questions as of right now. Lots of people coming in and out, and I understand that it is a winter weather situation. So it's not like we have a big tornado on the ground and we're covering it. We go back to Mississippi, and wow, power outages continue to just go up. We're now above 7,000 power outages across the state of Mississippi. Nearly 3,000 of those are in Tishomingo County, as 13% of the county is out right now. Do I think it'll ice over around the Jackson area? I really think it will. I really think that Jackson will more than likely see freezing rain in the morning. Um, I say more than likely because I'm not certain about it. know that there is a possibility that no freezing rain happens, and that would be good. But more than likely, what it's looking like, it's Jackson will definitely get some freezing rain tomorrow, and so that will be a whole mess around the capital region of Mississippi. Wow, over 7,000 power outages already across the state. And so we're just continuing and continuing and continuing to go up. Nearly 3,000 power outages for the Tishomingo County EPA, and almost 24,000 for Entergy. So that's how that sits as of right now. I'll go back and play the radar as of right now, just to have this in the background while I'm dealing with a few other things. Very sort of slightly, not really informal stream, but we're just going to continue talking about the weather. If anyone ever has questions, of course, I will answer those questions. But I'm also having to play social media a little bit right now as well. So we continue to see more and more freezing rain falling over northern Mississippi. And while it might not be a whole lot of freezing rain falling right now, you're just getting little and little and little more freezing rain on power poles, and it's causing issues very gradually. Um, um, here we go. And, so right now, I just posted a new post. It is over 75. Okay, I'll just read out the post now. That's what I was writing over the last few minutes. Uh, over 7,500 households over 7,500 households with a power outage across northern Mississippi. This includes nearly 3,000 outages in Tishomingo County. I have been harping on and on about how freezing rain would cause power outages across the state, and that is beginning to happen now. This will only get worse as we go into the night and throughout the day tomorrow. With more freezing rain tonight and a second bigger wave of winter weather coming in the morning, widespread power outages will continue across Mississippi. Please stay safe and check on people in northern Mississippi you know. Temperatures will reach the single digits and the teens tomorrow night. Dash student meteorologist Ashton Champion. So that's where we're looking at right now. It's unfortunate that that's what's happening right now, but it's just going to continue to get worse. Already 7,600 customers now out of power. That includes nearly 3,000. That is 3,000 customers without power in Tishomingo County, or nearly 3,000. 600 in Panola County, 550 in Sharkey County, over 400 in Atala, nearly 400 in Pontotoc, 300 in Holmes, 260 in Montgomery County, and 250 in Carroll County. And if we keep going down the list, it just keeps going. 31% of Sharkey County out of power as of right now. So that's one thing I will continue to monitor throughout the night tonight is going to be these power outages, and something we're just going to have to continue to watch as we go through this event. And this is just the beginning of it. I'm not trying to sound like a Debbie Downer in that case. That's just what's going to happen. It's fairly obvious. We're already getting massive power outages right now, and really the second bigger wave hasn't even made it here yet. We can hope that that second wave is weaker. That would be very good, but that's what we're looking at right now. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will give a county by county update or a town update, whatever you need, I would give. So just if you have any questions, please ask. That's how a live stream like this goes. Sorry, I'm just writing down this on my phone on the comment section. All right, there we go. So, still plenty of big showers across southern Mississippi. This is into the Hattiesburg area even right now. I'll flip over to the actual radar for a second, and we'll go to the Mobile radar, which shows big rain showers across Hattiesburg, Stumrall, Poplarville, Wiggins. This is up into Perry County as well, through Beaumont and Richton, Lakesville, Lucedale, Wiggins. So plenty of rain showers across southern Mississippi as of right now. But then if we look towards northern Mississippi, you have a little bit of weaker showers, but most of these turn into freezing rain. And really, that's a lot of rain that's falling, that's freezing when it touches the ground. Specifically spanning from Farmerville, Louisiana, through Lake Providence and towards Yazoo City, and then even some freezing rain to the west of Vicksburg that will be moving into Vicksburg before too long. If we look over into Louisiana right now, still plenty of moisture that will be moving into northern Mississippi throughout the night. That will be more freezing rain for northern Mississippi, and so you might get some small breaks in the freezing rain showers tonight. But just know the big second wave is coming tomorrow morning. And so we already have freezing rain on power poles and on power lines in northern Mississippi. You'll continue to get more throughout the night. And then you have a second wave coming up. We have now crossed over 8,000 customers without power. So remember, I posted not even 10 minutes ago of 7,500 customers without power. Now it's over 8,000, nearly 8,300 homes without power now across Mississippi. So now we're seeing about 25% of Carroll County out of power with 300 customers out right now. Um, Sharkey County remains the same. I think Pontotoc County has now lost some power. But continue looking. Now you have Choctaw County in this and Webster County with some meaningful power outages as well. Grenada County has 205 power outages, South Panola with 606. And so we'll continue to come back to those power outages as of right now. Just we're going to continue to see power loss in northern Mississippi with this winter storm. Let's go back to the MRMS real quick. So I've gotten a question about the severe weather risk tomorrow, and we'll look at that here in just a second. Hearing another outage in Grenada County right now. All right, let's pull up the severe weather threat for tomorrow. I'll pull up the tornado risk in particular. So let me turn off the radar just real quick. Let's put the radar up here in northern Mississippi. So here's where we're looking at a tornado risk tomorrow, actually. You may be thinking, aren't we having winter weather across Mississippi tomorrow as well? Yes, we are. But there is a small little tornado risk across Mississippi or southern Mississippi tomorrow. Now, I'm not buying into it all too much. There's a 2% tornado risk, which would be a marginal risk that spans across the Pine Belt region. But then you also have a 5% tornado risk that includes, what is this, George, not George, Green, George, and, oh Lord, I'm terrible with my coastal counties. I think that's Jackson County in southern Mississippi. So you have a slight risk for a tornado tomorrow. I'm not really buying into the tornado threat in Mississippi. Maybe we get some gusty winds, but just know that severe weather risk is there tomorrow across southern Mississippi. I'll go ahead and turn off that tornado risk now. And so let's look at the temperatures across Mississippi right now. We're seeing 32 degrees in Louisville. So any rain that falls, if the surface is cold enough, will more than likely become freezing rain at the surface. Yazoo City, about the same thing. We're seeing 32 degrees from the Vicksburg-Tulalip Regional Airport. So even some moisture that falls in Vicksburg could be freezing right now. More than likely, this is a mix between freezing rain and rain. But then again, I guess really nothing is frozen when it hits the ground. This water is hitting the ground and then freezing. And so that's what we're seeing as of right now. 31 degrees up in Winona right now, definitely cold enough for rain to touch the ground and to freeze. 34 degrees in Greenwood right now, so it's a little warmer. But then we're reading 21 degrees from the Mid Delta Regional Airport over in Greenville. guarantee you there's probably some ice on some sensors, but that's where we're sitting as of right now. But a big mess across Mississippi right now. Looks like we should be seeing some rain and possibly some freezing rain up near the Golden Triangle. So I'm going to bring up a West Point, Mississippi, or a Columbus, Mississippi traffic cam if any of these show any power lines. Here we go. Here is one in Columbus, Mississippi. Let me pull this up right now. So here's our radar, and then here's some power lines we're seeing with some traffic cams. It's hard to see from here if there's any ice accumulated on those poles. It looks like more than likely everything is still rain here in Columbus. But maybe there's some ice on those power poles, and definitely tomorrow morning we'll start looking into the possibility of um, freezing rain across Columbus, and even as we cool down throughout the night tonight. I wish I had a graphic of how quickly we were gaining power outages as of right now, because this is a really bad situation as of right now. Going back to the power outage map, we are now about to cross 8,500 customers without power. So we've gained almost 1,000 since I posted roughly 15 minutes ago. So, like I said, and like I predicted, the power outages look to be a big problem across northern Mississippi. And I know I keep coming back to this very regularly, but that's our realistic problem with a system like this. Because really, it's like, oh, there's some ice on the ground. Maybe be careful while driving. But what's the main issue here? It's going to be power outages with single digit temperatures tomorrow night. That's the issue we're looking at. We will still have Magnolia State weather live at 9 tonight. It will be a little different, but we'll restart the program a little bit at 9 o'clock. I'll basically go back through everything at 9, and we'll reset just a little bit. Remember, if you, what am I saying? Remember, if you're watching on Facebook and it's more convenient for you to watch on YouTube, you can look up Magnolia State weather on YouTube and watch us on YouTube as well. We're streaming on here and on YouTube. So what I'm doing right now while we're sitting here looking at the radar, looking at freezing temperatures and everything, is I'm going through the Facebook comments and answering questions there. One thing that I'll start having to do here as we're doing this live stream to get ready for live at 9, I might have to start rendering some graphics, but that'll be pretty easy. We're basically doing the same thing as of right now. So still hearing power outages in Grenada County right now, um, but only roughly 1.7% of Grenada County is out of power right now. I haven't seen a power update in about 6 minutes. So we'll see at the next update what the power outages are across Mississippi. And it's very concerning that every 10 minutes we're seeing more and more and more people lose power in northern Mississippi. Remember, we have the Magnolia State Weather Community on Facebook. Um, if you would like to send in your pictures, we can show it here on the live stream and everything. But it's called the Magnolia State Weather Community. It's a public group. If you look it up, you can join that group and you can send in pictures and you can see other people's pictures across the Magnolia State. Let's go back to some traffic cams now. Let's go a little farther north into West Point, Mississippi, from this area. I mean, I guess we could look into southern Mississippi actually. Let's look at this rain shower or this rainstorm that's happening down farther south. Kind of hard to see anything really, especially with rain. I'm looking through a lot of cameras here at the coast. Here is one in Gulfport at Mississippi 605 and Interstate 10. This is in South Mississippi. This is on the Gulf Coast, where lots of rain is moving, or where lots of rain has at least just moved through the area in South Mississippi. Vicksburg here. I hope you're holding in right now. I mean, you're not really seeing any freezing rain right now. I do not believe. Vicksburg, you should be getting below freezing within the next few hours. However, I'd say your biggest threat is going to be 6 a.m. to noon tomorrow. Maybe a little earlier. Maybe you could see some freezing rain move into Vicksburg, primarily around 3 o'clock. But that's where we're sitting for Vicksburg. Is more than likely you'll see freezing rain settle in around 6 a.m. until about noon. Next question is McCall Creek. Now, this one's going to play my um, trivia just a little bit. Where is McCall Creek? It's one of the few places I don't think I know where it is in Mississippi. I'm going to have to look it up real quick. I'm pretty good at knowing locations around Mississippi, but some of them I'm not good at. Oh, this is Franklin County. Okay. Okay. I've probably been through McCall Creek. I just don't remember it probably. Okay, so McCall Creek, let's see, that is, yep, here it is, over on Highway 84. McCall Creek right now, you're seeing some rain. Um, you're a little too warm to see freezing rain as of right now. You're probably around 40 degrees. It's not going to be until tomorrow morning that you see the potential for freezing rain into the area. And so there's still a chance you see no freezing rain fall tomorrow. But just remember, any of the rainfall that falls tomorrow is going to freeze on Sunday afternoon and into Sunday night. So even if rain doesn't fall and immediately freeze tomorrow, just know you're definitely looking at black ice potential on Sunday night and into Monday morning. You're welcome. So this number above me, if you're just new here, this number above me is at least what I have on my data for total ice storm warnings and winter storm warnings around the country. Now, I think this might be counties. I'm not sure, but this is showing 25 ice storm warnings issued across the country and 97 winter storm warnings issued across the country. Now, I think that might be a little high. I think the data might be a little messed up. That's what we're sitting at right now, and I think that's more than likely counties that are warned right now. See if we have an update on the power outages. Yes, we do. Unfortunately, now we are over 9,000 customers without power here across Mississippi. Over 3,000 customers now without power in Tishomingo County, over 700 in Choctaw County without power. And it's just continuing to go up. Remember, 20 minutes ago, I think it was 7,500. So now we're over 9,100 people without power, over 9,000 customers without power in Mississippi. By utility, this is over 3,000 for the Tishomingo County EPA and nearly 3,000 for Entergy. And then for county EPA, over 1,300 power outages as of right now. I completely expect this number to be maybe 20,000 by the morning. And I know that sounds really high, but I think that's what we're looking at here is we're going to have a lot of power outages even before the sun rises tomorrow. And so a lot of these areas that's just showing rain on the radar as of right now, I would say some of this can definitely be freezing rain falling to the surface right now. Sometimes just the radar has a little bit of a problem dealing with if something is freezing rain or if it's not. Next question is Bogachita, Mississippi. Now, which one are we talking about here? Are we talking about the Bogachita near Macomb? Is that the Bogachita we're talking about here? My pronunciation of that is probably terrible, but is that where we're talking about right now? Are we talking about the one in um what is this? Lincoln County. Are we talking about the one in Lincoln County? I'm assuming it's probably the one in Lincoln County. Okay, yes, the Bogachita in Lincoln County. I'd say that you are still in that area. We've gotten a lot of questions from Franklin County and Copiah County and also Pike County today. And I understand why. I completely understand why. And that's because you're in that battleground zone. And now I will say it doesn't look like your odds of having freezing rain are exceptionally high, but they're also not low. I'd say it's about a 50-50 shot of if you get freezing rain or if you get only rain. If you do get freezing rain, I would say accumulations will more than likely be meaningful and you will more than likely have the chance of freezing rain taking out possibly power lines or blocking roadways and freezing over roadways. And I'm sorry that sounds vague, but I've said it to many people today. It's going to be 1 or 2 degrees. That's the difference between you're having a lot of freezing rain or you're having just a lot of rain hit the ground. But anyways, if you don't have freezing rain, which would be a blessing, any rain that's on the ground, any water on the ground into Sunday afternoon and Sunday night will freeze. And so look out for a black ice potential on Sunday night and into Monday morning, um, even if you don't have freezing rain on tomorrow morning. And just remember, freezing rain here is not us saying that you're going to have ice pellets fall from the sky. That's not what's happening here. Freezing rain is simply rain that freezes when it hits the surface. It's not sleet. It's just rain that freezes when it touches the ground. That's what we're looking at as of right now. You're not going to be able to visibly see like frozen stuff falling from the sky. It's simply going to be a water drop that maybe hits your car and freezes almost immediately. That's what we're looking at in terms of freezing rain. And that's why, like, my forecast showed some places maybe up to 2 inches of freezing rain. That's just simply an inch of rain that's falling and then freezing when it gets down there. It's a little hard to find a 2 inch block of ice on the ground from freezing rain. That's a little difficult. See if we've got another update on the power outages across the area. I'll move that over here. We haven't got an update just yet. And so just remember from the beginning, I've been telling you that I never counted out the possibility of freezing rain into southwestern Mississippi and portions of southern Mississippi. And some people are like, oh, you're just being vague. Well, no, because it's just roughly, it literally just depends on where the freezing line is. And I'm one of the few people that never counted out the risk of freezing rain into southwestern Mississippi. And it definitely looks like freezing rain will potentially reach the I-55 corridor south of Jackson. I'm still, so if you see me looking over here, it's because I have a TV over here acting as a monitor that I'm looking around Facebook trying to get information right now. So that's why we are looking over. That's why I'm looking over to the sides a lot. This is where all my information is as of right now. Let's go back to Starkville, Mississippi as of right now for a look at the freezing rain on the power lines that we had up there. It's been one of the easiest cameras to look at in terms of northeastern Mississippi's ice accumulations on power lines. But really, it's looking as if none of the cameras on MDOT are wanting to load up in northwestern Mississippi or northeastern Mississippi. Sorry, really struggling to load right now. Oh, here we go. Bring it up as soon as I can. There we go. So this is how we're sitting for Starkville. Some freezing rain in the area. The rain that's coming down is freezing right now. It still looks like a little bit of rain is falling right now. I'm looking at the puddles down on the ground. You can definitely see some rain falling right now, and that's expected. We're expecting rain to fall, and then it freezes once it touches the surface. So that's what we're dealing with right now. You're not going to see ice pellets fall from the sky. You're going to see rain fall, hit the ground, and then freeze. It'd be perfect if I had one more monitor because then I could always run radar and a camera at the same time. I think we need to get me funding so that I can get a fourth monitor. That's really what we need right now. We need a fourth monitor. That would be great. Go back to just the radar real quick while I figure out the power outage situation here. We should be getting an update on power outages across Mississippi here in the next few minutes or so. We'll see if those numbers continue to go up right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go get more water real quick. All right, I'm back with another glass of water. I think this is glass number 3 right now, which I guess it's not a big cup, so we're going. I'm more of trying to save my voice for tomorrow and for tomorrow morning because I think that's when we're going to really need to hammer in on what's happening across the state. Someone asked, How hype are we hyping this up? Just curious. Um, there's been lots of hype around this system, to say the least, and most of that has been with national meteorologists, to say the least. Let's do a rundown little update real quick. Northern Mississippi, you're seeing a mix of some showers, maybe some rain is hitting the ground and freezing north of I-20. That's what it seems like. We're seeing temperatures down into the 20s, some low 30s, and maybe some temperatures above freezing, like 34 in Greenwood and 34 outside of Columbus. But for the most part, it looks like rain should be freezing for a good bit of northern Mississippi. But for South Mississippi, just some heavier rain showers, especially down towards the Gulf Coast. What should the weather be like for Lawrence County as of right now, today and tomorrow? So Lawrence County, I actually think the odds of seeing freezing rain has gone up. I'm not saying it's impossible to not see freezing rain. Lawrence County for today, you'll be okay. I think Lawrence County's risk isn't till about 6 a.m. tomorrow, which is when that second wave comes in. But for Lawrence County, it's right on that line of maybe it gets freezing rain, maybe it doesn't. I want to say that northern Lawrence County will definitely see a little bit of freezing rain. That's what it looks like. Um, but that potential's still there that you get nothing. But at the end of the day, any freezing rain that is there. That's just water on the ground, will freeze on Sunday night, and we'll still have that black ice potential, as I've been saying. So Lawrence County, I'll say your odds of seeing freezing rain has increased throughout the day today. Um, so I would be prepared for a little bit of freezing rain. Maybe I say a little bit. Just be ready for freezing rain tomorrow because that could potentially um, clog up some roadways and could definitely lead to power outages in Lawrence County. And it seems like that's more likely towards the northern portion of Lawrence County. But let's not take out the odds of the entire county for that tomorrow. Like I said, I'm sorry, it still sounds very vague. What about thunderstorms and tornadic weather? Not a chance in Lawrence County. Um, do not worry about thunderstorms and tornadic weather tomorrow. Which I guess, I mean, you could get thunder rain, thunder freezing rain. I mean, we've been talking about that possibility, but really, like the thunderstorms that we're talking about in terms of severe thunderstorms, don't even worry about that in Lawrence County. It's not going to happen tomorrow. Nettleton. Where is Nettleton? I'm trying to remember some of these places in northern Mississippi. I'm no good at this. I know Nettleton is in northeastern Mississippi somewhere. I can't remember exactly. Let's remember what county Nettleton's in. You now made me curious. Sorry. I'm not very good with my towns in northern Mississippi. Not yet, at least. I'm good with some of them. Lee and Monroe County. Yep. There we go. Yep, there's Nettleton. I knew it was up there. Yeah, Nettleton. If you're in Nettleton, can I ask, are you getting freezing rain right now? Like you're not gonna see ice falling, but is the water touching the ground and freezing? Like, is that still happening up there in Nettleton? Because I'm seeing 30 degrees in Tupelo, 32 south of Amory. So I would think that rain touching the ground is probably freezing in Nettleton right now, but it would be nice to just have an observation of that as of right now. But yes, you're continuing to see more and more freezing rain throughout the night tonight. But the second wave of that will be tomorrow. Go back to the power outages. Are we still sitting at that? Okay, we have now surpassed 9,500 customers without power in Mississippi. So now we're getting close to that 10,000 mark already. Um, Not really good. Sharkey County now 42% of Sharkey County is out of power. Sharkey County seems to really be feeling it right now. 750 outages, that's about 42% of Sharkey County has lost power. We'll come back to that, but nearly 10,000 customers out of power across Mississippi. Yeah, so most of this in northern Mississippi, I do believe, is freezing rain. On the radar, it's still showing most of, or some of it being rain, about half of it being rain, half of it being freezing rain. But for the most part, I'd say, sorry, I'd say that almost all of this rain falling is more than likely freezing once it gets to the ground. Let's zoom into it with the Columbus radar. Yeah, just a big old shower of freezing rain will be moving into the Tupelo region, Pontotoc, Okaluna. And so this shower has probably been what's been causing more and more power outages across northern Mississippi. If we change it to just be normal radar, and so remember, this is all the radar sees. All the radar sees is what I'm showing you right here. It just thinks everything is rain. And so what's happening is the radar like takes the temperatures and it tries to guess, and this is more of through each application. This is just trying to guess if it's freezing rain or if it's not. Right now, a big rain shower moving over Pontotoc, Tupelo, Aberdeen, right now towards Okaluna and Amory. a lot of this is freezing rain, and this is a lot of freezing rain falling very fast. And I honestly think this is probably the shower that's taken out a lot of power across northern Mississippi now. I thank you for that report from Nettleton. It gives us a lot of information that we need across northeastern Mississippi. So, a report from Nettleton is that a lot of power lines covered with ice right now. And I told my friends in Starkville that that's a concern because if Starkville's already covered in ice and you have more ice coming later, um, all that rain that's trying to freeze doesn't have to work as hard to get the base coat down. And so that's going to be a real problem in northeastern Mississippi is that you already have some lines covered in ice. And so it's just going to be easier for more and more freezing rain to really become a problem um, overnight and into tomorrow morning. Here's a sky cam from Tupelo. This one's a really good one. I'll pull this up right now. This is one of the sky cams in Tupelo right now, which shows how far some of that freezing rain has made icicles up there in northern Mississippi. And you can even see it with some of those trees that are down there. You can really see how white some of the trees look. It's hard to see from this camera angle. Let me pull up the whole camera. You can see how white those cameras look, and that's the ice reflecting light off of them. Lots of freezing rain on trees there in Tupelo. Sorry, moving this over to my other monitor real quick so I can keep the power outage number visible for right now. We should it unfortunately it looks like we will pass 10,000 customers without power across the state of Mississippi here in the next few minutes, especially with the rate of how this is going. So the style of weather coverage we're doing right now is very loose. Um, we're covering what needs to be covered right now. Any questions are getting answered, but also I'm answering questions from Facebook as of right now, just because we have so many things happening across Mississippi as of right now, and especially because this is a more of a winter storm. It's a little harder to focus in on little areas all at a time because it's not like we have a tornado where one sole area needs a lot of attention all at once. I'm more of covering this in a very wide um, variety. Is there going to be ice in Rankin County? Good question. Um, I that's a tough one. And the reason that's a tough one is because, I mean, I think it's likely that Rankin County sees freezing rain in the morning. Now you say the term ice, and I get what you mean. This will not be falling from the sky as ice. What will happen is it will be cold enough that rain falls from the sky, and as soon as it touches the ground, it becomes ice. I do think that that is likely going to happen in the morning in Rankin County. Now, it depends on how far west you are in Rankin County. If you're closer to the Jackson, I think it's more likely in the morning. But I think if you're farther into southeastern Rankin County, maybe you start questioning on if you're going to see freezing rain in the morning. But just know more than likely you will probably see freezing rain in Rankin County in the morning from the hours, I'd say roughly between 6 a.m. and noon. there is still a chance you get nothing and no freezing rain happens, but I do think for the most part that it looks like freezing rain will happen in Rankin County in some regards tomorrow morning. Currently, as of 8:33 p.m., we are at 817,000 views for the day. Um, Maybe we pass a million views in a day. That means a lot. I mean, I know I'm running this thing, but I mean, I'm just a junior meteorology major doing what I love. Um, and so getting almost a million views 3 days in a row um, for a random weather channel covering Mississippi means a lot to me, and so that's why I'm talking about it. I can never thank you all enough for the support that I've had so far. But we have a long ways to go for Magnolia State weather. I have big plans, and sure, we might only average maybe 10 viewers at a time on this channel as of right now, but we're gonna go somewhere with Magnolia State weather. Lots of stuff planned, and I know I'm just a one person. I'm a one man band, but I have lots of stuff planned in terms of coding that's gonna really help our live streams as we go throughout the spring. Lots of severe weather potential across the next few months, and so that's more of what we usually focus on is severe weather. Winter weather gets a little question or gets a little hard because we don't have a lot of stuff to talk about all the time. But I will say one thing I am working on right now is I'm working with some AI stuff, not to make forecasts. That's not what I want to use AI for. I think AI is good for certain things. AI needs to stay out of forecasting. It's not good at it. It sucks. Let me just say that. But what I would use AI for is to go through feeds to filter out school outages. And so you're kind of seeing how I would use AI here. Not to make forecast. I'm not like that. I will make my own forecast. There's no reason for me to use AI for that. But I can use AI to look into little snippets and to put it together for me to like give me school outages across Mississippi. Okay, we just got two questions out right now. Actually, one question as of right now. And one of them is no power in Calhoun County. Let me figure that out for you just real quick. We're looking at over 9,500 power outages across Mississippi right now. So for Calhoun County, I'm not seeing Calhoun County on this list in terms of one of the more major counties without power. Looks like they fixed the power in most of Humphreys and Yazoo County as of right now. But for, let's see, it was Calhoun County. Trying to remember where exactly Calhoun County is. Not the best with my North Mississippi counties as of right now. Literally right here. I'm like losing my mind right now. What am I doing? What am I doing? So I'm hearing no power in Calhoun County. So let's see if that's updated. Not seeing anything as of right now. There it is, Calhoun County. Calhoun County, we're seeing roughly 25 outages as of right now. So if you're without power, it looks like a very localized area is without power. However, I will remind you this was updated 10 minutes ago. So as soon as this updates, I'll let you know. It's really funny because I was passing right over Calhoun County and I wasn't seeing it. Like I know where Calhoun County is. I knew the region it was in, but for some reason I just didn't notice that I was right on top of it. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this was showing Calhoun County with 25 outages. We'll let this update. This will update here in a few minutes, and it'll let us know maybe Calhoun County has a bigger power outage problem now. Next question was Vicksburg. Vicksburg starting to actually get beneath freezing. We could see some rain start freezing in the Vicksburg area. I do think it's very likely that Vicksburg sees freezing rain tomorrow morning, and I think that Vicksburg will be one of those areas that will have travel problems, especially over I-20. We'll start seeing travel problems in Vicksburg, and we'll more than likely see um, maybe some power outages there in Warren County. Still, the power outages have not updated just yet. So we'll come back to that in a few minutes. It's probably only 2 or 3 minutes away from updating. I think it might update every 15 minutes. If it seems like the quality of the live stream is going in and out, I don't think we're skipping. Like, I don't think we're losing connection and coming back. But I think quality of the live stream might be going in and out just a little bit. And that's because, I mean, I'm in Mississippi doing weather coverage. And so we have a few rain showers coming over us right now. And since we're using Starlink, that is affecting the signal just a little bit. But as of right now, I think we're pretty good. I'm keeping the power outage map on the. I'll keep this on the other monitor for a second for it to update. I'll put this over here actually. Um, I'll keep this right here for now. And so we'll keep the power outage map right here, just on the top portion of our screen. This is what we're looking at right now. I'm getting prepared for live at 9 right now. That's where I'm at in my headspace because I'm about to have to go through everything that we're expecting tonight and everything in the morning. Um, if you don't know what live at 9 is, I try to do a show every night at 9 o'clock, and that goes through tonight's weather, tomorrow's weather, what all we're expecting, and we'll get a big rundown of the weather here in about 20 minutes. That's where we're looking at the big weather update. We'll be in about 20 minutes. We'll go through the weather for about probably 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll see how much longer I stay live for tonight because I might rest between now and like 3 a.m. I might come back and start live streaming at 3 a.m. because that's when it looks like more winter weather is really going to start coming in. But as of right now, I mean, maybe I'm up all night. I'm not sure. So here's what I'm watching. We have another area of winter weather and freezing rain, more than likely, that's moving into northwestern Mississippi. And so if I circle it out here on radar, I'll pop it up right here. It's this area right here that's moving into the Greenville and Greenwood area that's moving off to the northeast. I think just like the area of showers and freezing rain that's going through Tupelo right now, this next area that's about to move through Greenville and Greenwood, this has the potential to take out more power with it. Okay, power outages have actually gone down as of the 5 minute update a while ago. We're really going to have to see if the EPAs can keep up with the power outages. So we're now down beneath 9,000 outages, which is nice to see. We were talking about Calhoun County earlier. It looks like a very localized outage in Calhoun County. 25 households out. So that's about half of a percentage of customers out in Calhoun City as of right now, from the data that I'm looking at. It looks like the Tishomingo County EPA has been doing a good job at getting several customers power back. They are now below 3,000 outages. Once again, they're at about 2,300 outages in Tishomingo County. Oktibbeha County beginning to lose power now. 700 customers out of power in Oktibbeha County. Panola County, great question. Panola County, right now, 611 customers out of power. Um, that is roughly 3.3% of the county without power up there in Panola County. I will say you have another batch of freezing rain. I'll move to the radar now. This is spanning from Greenville to Greenwood. This area has basically made it to Highway 82. And so for Panola County, this area of freezing rain that's moving off to the northeast will move into your area within the next few hours. And this will have the potential to take out power up in Panola County as this rain as this freezing rain moves up to the north. And like I said, I keep saying as this freezing rain moves up to the north. This is not like sleet pellets. This is simply rain that freezes when it touches the ground. And so for Panola County, you're kind of okay for now, but it looks like more freezing rain will move into the area very shortly. Well, I guess it would also help if I was using the correct radar site for me. Look at this again. That was looking from Jackson. That was looking at what's coming towards your area. I'm right now switching to the Memphis radar to see what you're going through currently. But it looks like more than likely you're kind of in the clear for now in Panola County. It looks like you're mostly in the clear for now, but very cold temperatures up there. But just know more freezing rain is on the way throughout tonight and into tomorrow morning. Yeah, that is the cells that are now coming up towards Panola County. So yes, you're clear for now, but more freezing rain on the way. Let's go look at some more cameras. Let's go to some MDOT cameras up in. Oh, what in the world just happened? I accidentally closed everything on my end. Give me 1 second, trying to fix everything. There we go. Think we're good. Live stream still working. Let's go up towards Greenville. Let's see what we're looking at as of right now. Oh, yeah, I forgot we don't have any traffic cams really near the Greenville area, do we? Yes, we do. So getting us some traffic cams to go look at. Oh, here's a great view. This is in Swiftwater, um, up in northern Mississippi. This is what we're looking at right now. Plenty of ice on the roadways, and then lots of ice hanging down. This is near US 82 and Highway 1. This is that intersection um, between US 82 and Mississippi Highway 1. So this is where we're looking at right now is going to be this intersection that's going through a good bit of freezing rain right now. We've made it through our third cup of water today. Lots more. We got a lot more glasses of water to go through for this entire event. We got a long ways to go. Luckily, it looks like we should be getting done in about 15 hours or so. Someone is asking why my forecast has such a big range, specifically the yellow areas that I highlighted, that has anywhere from 0 inches possible to 1.5 inches of freezing rain possible. And so, why is that the case? Well, we don't know where the freezing point is going to be. And so, if you don't know where exactly the freezing point is going to be, um, one area could have 1 inch of freezing rain, while an area 2 miles away could have nothing. And that's just how we're looking with um, a system like this in Mississippi. It just all depends on where that freezing point is. 5 at 9 begins in 10 minutes. So getting ready for the live at 9 here in 10 minutes. That's where we will go through the full range of anything that can happen with this system. And so we will go completely through the severe weather risk tomorrow, the freezing risk tomorrow, what areas can expect freezing rain tomorrow. We will completely go through that here in about 10 minutes. That's where we will begin to go through um, everything across Mississippi in terms of weather. I'll change our traffic cam here if I can find a better one. I'm trying to see if I can find any power lines potentially in these areas. Let's see. Not finding any traffic cams with much activity, to say the least. At least not out in Greenville. Looks like a lot of people have kind of hunkered down in this area, which I respect it. Looks like they're snow plowing the river bridge. This is from Mississippi to Arkansas on Highway 278. I'll bring that up right now. But that's what we're looking at right now. This storm right here, this freezing rain, wintry mixed storm, whatever it is, moving into Greenville and moving over Highway 82 right now. And this is the view the from the from the Mississippi River Bridge, and this is them clearing out the freezing rain on the highway. This is Highway 278. You can see MDOT doing their work there on the highway. And so, like, I want to tell you this. For my forecast, I try to give you the most accurate I think is realistic. Like, if I think there is roughly a 20% chance that maybe an area gets 3 inches of snow, let's say snow, for example. I don't think any snow is going to happen for this system. Let's say like a 20% chance an area gets 3 inches of snow, but it looks more realistically that it'll get maybe an inch and a half. I would more than likely include that area to more than likely get anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow. That's just how a forecast needs to work. You need to make sure people know what the extremes of a system are. And so that's why I'm doing this for winter weather. I'd rather you be over prepared for a system like this. Plus, it's easier to explain, hey, this number I have up here, like you said, oh, I don't think 3 inches of snow will happen. Let's just say that. Well, I'm like, well, I don't think it's very likely it happens, but it's definitely a possibility for a system like this. And so that's not this system I'm talking about right now. I'm just talking about in general. That's kind of how it plays out. Look at the power outages right now. Right now, sitting over 9,000 customers out of power once again. Let's see where we're sitting at right now. Escondido County has once again fixed some power. Sharkey County, upwards of almost 800 customers out. Oktibbeha County is really starting to lose power now. Almost 800 customers without power in Oktibbeha County. So, anyways, we're getting ready for Live at 9 here in the next few minutes. We're only a few minutes away from a full weather update across the Magnolia State. Since we have a little bit of a break, real quick, we can bring in a puppy. Anyone want to see a puppy? Let's see if I can get one of the dogs. Okay, let's stretch that idea. The dogs are wet, so let's not do that one. We're actually seeing some lightning now in South Mississippi with one of these cells that's starting to move into Amite and Pike counties in southwestern Mississippi. We got a big thunderstorm that's going to start moving into Liberty, Centerville, Woodville, into those areas here in South Mississippi. We're seeing some lightning with this system as it now crosses into Mississippi from Louisiana. So this is about to cross over Highway 48, going to cross over Highway 24 before too long. But as this moves to the northeast, this will eventually cross over Highway 98 and Interstate 55. We will be going live at 9 here very soon, 4 minutes until a full weather update across the state of Mississippi. Oh, here we go. 3 minutes away from Magnolia State weather live at 9. We're just looking at right now uh, this batch of rain and freezing rain that's moving across Highway 82 right now. And this is the view from the Mississippi River Bridge on Highway 82. I'm sorry that our coverage is not extremely in depth. I know we're covering radar here, we're covering um, future ice endeavors and whatnot. Not the most entertaining thing in the world, but it's not meant to be very entertaining. It's a winter weather live stream. Winter weather is not the easiest thing to be very entertaining about, but we'll have more content before too long when it comes to our live streams, hopefully. Well, anyways, we're 1 minute away from live at 9. So here we go. We're about to get ready for Magnolia State weather live at 9. All right, so here we go. Time for Magnolia State weather live at 9. We'll give a few minutes for people to tune in because I know some people do actually tune in right at 9 o'clock, and so we'll give them just a second to get ready for this weather update across Mississippi. So we will begin Magnolia State weather live at 9 here in roughly, I'd say 90 seconds. I usually start right at 9:01 and 30 seconds. So a minute and a half until we start Magnolia State weather live. Make sure you maybe get cozy, get settled down. We're getting ready for the full weather update across the state of Mississippi. We have a lot of stuff to cover. It'll take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, but we got a lot of stuff to cover across the state of Mississippi. Right now, what we're looking at is a big old shower of rain that's actually fairly heavy. That is freezing rain. So what's happening is it's raining, but then this freezes once it touches the ground. Lots of people are a little confused about freezing rain, and they're like, I'm not seeing anything fall from the cloud. Well, you're not expected to. This is not sleet. It is simply rain that freezes once it makes contact with the ground. That is what the risk is across Mississippi. It's not falling ice particles. That's not what we're looking at here. We're looking at rain that falls and freezes once it touches the ground. Roughly 30 seconds until we go into our Magnolia State weather live breakdown across the state. I thank you for tuning in to Magnolia State Weather Live. I'll give it just a few more seconds before we get into Magnolia State Weather Live at 9. Roughly 20 more seconds for people to tune in, and I'll start answering questions as soon as I can. But the full weather rundown is going to begin here in about 10 seconds now. So here we go. Let me get one more sip of water. Actually, I'm out of water, so look at that. I guess I will not be getting a sip of water. So, anyways, welcome to Magnolia State Weather Live at 9. I am student meteorologist Ashton Champion, and I thank you for tuning in on this Saturday night. It's a cold one in northern Mississippi, a wet one in south Mississippi, but we have a lot to cover across the state of Mississippi. So here we go. Let's look at our radar as of right now. We got a lot to cover. Let's go ahead and get it going with lots of heavy rain showers across southern Mississippi as of right now. That includes areas south and on Highway 98, Columbia, Mississippi, with some heavy rain right now. You got lots of heavy showers and some thunderstorms moving into Mississippi from Louisiana. This is moving into Liberty, Magnolia, and Macomb. This little storm down here will move off to the northeast, and you will see possibly some thunderstorms up towards Brookhaven and up towards the Highway 84 corridor before too long. For areas in the Pine Belt in southern Mississippi, you've been dealing with rain for a while now. That will continue to move off to the northeast and will eventually move out of Mississippi here in the next little bit. But just know, if you're south of I-20, we're not worried about freezing rain as of right now, unless you're towards Vicksburg. Just some heavy rain showers and some thunderstorms for South Mississippi tonight. But now we shift our gears towards northern Mississippi. Northern Mississippi, some of this looks like rain on the radar, but almost all of this in northern Mississippi is freezing rain. And I've heard multiple people saying, I'm not seeing anything falling from the sky. And I understand that, but that is not what freezing rain is. Freezing rain is not sleet. We're not seeing particles, ice particles, fall from the sky. You're simply seeing rain that freezes maybe once it touches your vehicle, once it touches the roadway, once it touches power lines. That's what we're looking at here. Freezing rain is not frozen from the sky, it's frozen in contact with the ground. And so that's what we're looking at across northern Mississippi as of right now. I think we'll go ahead and we'll look at the power outages right now. I think that's important to look at. Sharkey County has really been going through it right now. Sharkey County now, over 50% of the county is out of power in Sharkey County. 948 residents out of power. In total, over 9,800 people across the state of Mississippi without power. And that number is continuing to grow. We will cross over 10,000 customers without power within the next, let's say, uh, within the next 30 minutes, more than likely, we'll cross over 10,000 people without power. And so the counties that are struggling the most with that is Tishomingo County, Carroll County, and Sharkey counties. But we also see a big swath of power outages through northern Mississippi that spans from Sharkey County all the way to Clay County. So lots of people without power already in northern Mississippi, and we're just expecting more freezing rain throughout the night and a second wave tomorrow morning. And so now it's time to look at the models. What are the models saying? And so this is where it gets interesting for us. We have the 0ZHRRR that's going to tell us a lot about tonight and about tomorrow morning. The HRRR has been a little bit more aggressive and has shown a freezing line down into portions of southern Mississippi with potentially some freezing aspects in Wilkinson County and Mike County, maybe parts of Lawrence County. We've been seeing freezing rain farther to the east and farther to the south with the HRRR. So now let's see what the 0Z run shows. The 0Z run shows about the same thing that I've been thinking is going to happen throughout the last few days. This shows freezing rain into the Jackson metro area, into Rankin County, into parts of Lawrence County, Mike County, Wilkinson County. This includes Natchez, Vicksburg, Jackson. So this shows freezing rain potential tomorrow morning. So this radar image right here is for 8 a.m. I'm thinking the biggest amounts of freezing rain is going to be anywhere from 6 a.m. to noon tomorrow, but this could potentially begin as early as 3 a.m. So this is where we're expecting freezing rain tomorrow morning. And so you may have looked at my forecast and been like, there's a big range here. And there's a reason for that. And that's because we don't know exactly where the freezing line is going to be. But there is some model guidance that suggests a big ice storm and freezing rainstorm, I should say, is definitely possible into portions of southern Mississippi and farther east than we saw today. And so that's where we look at right now. I believe the HRRR model is going to be accurate. It's been accurate with this system the whole time. So if you're in this red area here, be ready. If you're in any of the areas that I labeled as possibly maybe an inch of freezing rain, if you're in that yellow area, I would prepare for ice in the morning. If you can go ahead and get your car full, if you can get your tank filled, whatever it may be, last second preparations, get ready for that because it looks like in the morning, this second wave of freezing rain will make it a little bit farther east than the wave did this morning. And that's what we're looking at as of right now. I'll bring up my forecast real quick that I had earlier. And so this is my forecast I made this afternoon, and I think it sticks clear. And so the yellow area was anywhere from 0 to 1.5 inches of freezing rain. And so just know 1.5 inches of freezing rain is not 1.5 inches of ice on the ground. It simply means 1.5 inches of rain has fallen and almost all of that has frozen. That's what 1.5 inches of freezing rain means. So I'd say if you're in this yellow area, it looks more than likely that a good portion of this yellow area, specifically that includes like Wilkinson, Franklin, Copiah, Rankin, maybe Leake County, Neshoba, Lowndes counties, these areas that I just circled in pink could more than likely expect freezing rain in the morning. That's what it's looking like with the HRRR. There's still a chance that these areas don't get freezing rain, but that's why I have a huge range for this yellow area. I think it looks fairly likely that you have freezing rain in the morning for some of these areas, possibly up to maybe a 75% chance we see freezing rain for the Jackson metro area, for Natchez, portions of like Lowndes counties, Winston County, Leake County, Rankin County. I think it's very likely that some of these counties see freezing rain in the morning. And I will be here to cover that for you, but that's what we're looking at with this system. And so this is still the forecast, but just know, I really think that areas in yellow will more than likely see some freezing rain in some aspects. And so back to the radar just real quick. This is where we're sitting. So we know where the freezing rain is right now. We know where the power outages are. We know where the freezing line may potentially be in the morning. So if you have any questions, please make sure to send them in. Okay, so two things now. Someone asked about Jackson. Jackson, I am expecting freezing rain in the morning. So be prepared in Jackson for the Jackson metro area to have freezing rain in the morning. You might get lucky and you might not have anything, but I think it's more than it's very likely that the Jackson metro area sees freezing rain in the morning. And just one more little head talk real quick. Freezing rain is not sleet. It is not ice falling from the sky. It is rain that falls and freezes as soon as it touches the surface. Next is power is out on Highway 407 in Choctaw County. I believe that. I completely believe that, obviously. Let's go to the power outages right now. Let's see if it's updated just yet. Yes, it has. Almost 10,000 customers without power now in northern Mississippi. If we look at Choctaw County, 7.6% of Choctaw County out right now, 740 outages for Choctaw County as of right now. So we're seeing a big swath of power outages now across northern Mississippi. This will more than likely cross over 10,000 customers in about 10 minutes. And so the counties that we're seeing the most power outages with percentage wise is Sharkey County with 52% of the county out of power and Carroll County with 30% of the county out. But in terms of numbers, Tishomingo is still number one at 2,000 customers out of power right now. The utilities that are currently out right now, Entergy has 3,300 customers out. 4 County EPA with 2,300 customers out, and Tishomingo County EPA with 2,300 customers out as well. That's what we're looking at for the highest outages as of right now. But we're definitely seeing a lot of freezing rain taking out power in northern Mississippi. If you have any pictures that you would like to send in, feel free to DM them to me through direct messages, or you can join the Magnolia State Weather Community. That is a group that we have on Facebook. You can look it up. The Magnolia State Weather Community is where you can send in any pictures you have of freezing rain or of damage. That allows me to put together where are we seeing damage at. It allows us to show it to the live stream and to show it to people. And especially since we're a small weather page, it helps us out a lot to have people sending us in stuff. This is what we're looking at up towards Highway 82 in Greenville. This is the Highway 82 bridge up there in right outside of Greenwood. This is the Highway 82 bridge crossing the Mississippi River. I want you to know snowplows went through here roughly 10 minutes ago, and already it's very difficult to tell where their tire tracks are. So definitely freezing rain, a lot of freezing rain just fell through this area, through the Highway 82 corridor that spans from Greenville all the way to Greenwood, more than likely. And I guarantee you, we might be also seeing freezing rain entering Winona right now. More than likely, also heading towards Starkville, West Point, and the Golden Triangle over in that region. I'll continue to look at the power outage map right now because it's a very interesting thing to watch right now. I'm curious to see at the next update if we continue to see power outages across Mississippi. And I said we might see 20,000 power outages by the morning, by the time the sun rises. And I think that's still a possibility. I'm hoping that we don't get up that high, but it's still a possibility across northern Mississippi. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than open to answer any questions I can about any specific locations across Mississippi right now. let's see if anybody has added any pictures to the Magnolia State weather community since earlier. I will show you some pictures we got from Grenada earlier. I'll show you all those here in just a second. Let's look at that right now. Let me show the radar for just a second while I get those put together real quick. I thank Jessica for sending in these pictures with the Magnolia State weather community. If you want to send in pictures, um, you are more than welcome to do so. And it also looks like we have a few more pictures available. Here we go. This is what we're looking at right now. This is in Grenada. This was earlier, of course. This was before the sun set. Um, this is in Grenada. Where plenty of ice on a roof here, and it heading down. Ice completely covering a plant here in Grenada. Just lots of ice that has already fallen. Not ice that's fallen, but ice that is frozen over. Water that's frozen over up there in Grenada. And so next thing is, how much ice do you think we will get in Olive Branch? Olive Branch is in a weird space. I mean, I already think Olive Branch has seen over an inch of ice on the ground. If I had to guess, you've already seen over an inch of freezing rain. I think that's fairly obvious if we look at Olive Branch. Let me get a camera angle from Olive Branch real quick, just to remind myself where we are with Olive Branch so far. I mean, there has been so much already fall in Olive Branch. Yeah, here's a great camera angle of it. I'm gonna turn this on right now. So here's a view from Olive Branch already. It definitely looks like already an inch of freezing rain has fallen. And you might be like, that's not an inch of ice on the ground. Well, there's definitely been nearly an inch of rain fall that has frozen. But also, this is some snow from this morning, so it's a little hard to tell. But overall, I mean, um, it looks like Olive Branch has already gone through it today. But there's more coming. So the question is, how much ice do you think we will get in Olive Branch? So let me bring that up real quick. I'm going to bring up the HRRR model to kind of explain this a little bit for me of what we're expecting. We have some freezing rain remaining throughout the night, but then by time we get to about midnight, you still have there's a shower that's moving up towards Olive Branch that I'll show you here in just a second. But as we get towards midnight, more rain showers settle into northern Mississippi, so you'll continue to get more freezing rain in Olive Branch. And then as we go throughout the day, almost all day tomorrow, up until about lunchtime, I say all day. So basically, almost now until tomorrow at lunch is where we see more and more freezing rain over Olive Branch and over that area in northern Mississippi. And I think that's dangerous because you already have snow on the ground, you already have ice on the ground. And so, even maybe an inch more of freezing rain can cause some big problems up there in Olive Branch. And so, one thing I want to show you is this cell that's here over Highway 82, uh, right here over Greenville and Greenwood, and about to move through Grenada. This is moving up to the northeast towards Olive Branch, and we'll make it to Olive Branch here in the next few hours. This storm right here has also been causing power outages across northern Mississippi. So just know you have another little cell coming tonight. I say little, you have another cell of freezing rain coming up to Olive Branch tonight. Um, and that will continue to add on to what you already have on the ground, plus the whole system tomorrow morning that we're going to have coming through. The next is Louisville. Looks like tomorrow and tonight, or tomorrow will be rough. I I wouldn't say like it's guaranteed that it's going to be rough, but I will say it looks likely that some freezing rain, at least some freezing rain, will happen in Louisville. But um, if we look at my forecast real quick, this is my forecast as of right now. Louisville is Louisville Winston County? I believe Louisville is Winston County. Louisville anywhere from nothing to an inch and a half of freezing rain possible. And so I know that's a wide range. It depends on where the freezing point is, but also you might look at today's freezing rain and might not think it's a whole lot, but tomorrow's freezing rain is looking a lot more potent because it's looking like a lot more rain will fall very quickly that will freeze at the surface. And so that's why there's such a wide range for Louisville tomorrow. I definitely think it looks like we will get some freezing rain in Louisville, but the chance of not having any is there, so I'd be praying for that. But definitely, if you're in Louisville, just be prepared for anything tomorrow. Let's go back to the power outages. Let's see if we've crossed 10,000. We have not. We've actually gone down across the last few minutes. We've gotten about 200 um, customers power in the last few minutes. So we're at 9,700, but all it takes is it looks like one more limb to fall, and we will cross that 10,000 threshold of customers without power. Next question is, what about Meridian? I think the odds of Meridian getting any ice or any freezing rain, I should say, is extremely small. I think Meridian will see only rain tomorrow. However, if any freezing rain happened, I think it would be minimal. But remember, any rain that falls tonight and into tomorrow will freeze tomorrow night due to the cold temperatures and will become a black ice threat in Lauderdale County. So that's what we're looking at. So while I might not think freezing rain is going to happen in Meridian, definitely look out for the possibility of any wetness on the ground in Lauderdale County to freeze tomorrow night. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in. I'm just looking through any questions we might have over Facebook right now, trying to answer anything I can. Just remember, in terms of colleges, I know Jones College in Jones County, Mississippi, has closed classes on Monday due to um, possibly water freezing on the roadways on Monday morning. And so while freezing rain is not going to happen in Jones County, they're still prepared for the black ice threat on Sunday night and into Monday morning. What about Vicksburg, Mississippi? I've gotten that question plenty of times today, but I'm more than happy to tell you what's going to happen in Vicksburg. I think Vicksburg will more than likely see a good bit of freezing rain in the morning. There's a slight percent chance that maybe you don't get freezing rain in the morning. That's a very small chance. I think Vicksburg will probably be in the thick of it um, tomorrow morning, especially with so much moisture possible in South Mississippi and freezing temperatures near Vicksburg almost already. If Vicksburg's not already seeing a little bit of freezing rain, it will in the morning. But for Vicksburg, just beware. You will more than likely see freezing rain in the morning. Yeah, so like zooming in on Vicksburg, Vicksburg right now 32 at Vicksburg Talia Regional Airport, 34 it's showing for Vicksburg Municipal Airport. So you're right around that freezing point. So already some ice probably forming on the ground in Vicksburg. But just know that's going to be enhanced in the morning as we have this second wave coming through, and that second wave is going to be very potent tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. I will do everything I can to be safe. Luckily, I'm in South Mississippi doing this live coverage this weekend. I'm trying to look at some models here. Just looking here, looking at some temperatures, especially in northern Mississippi, it's looking like there will be a little bit of a push of warmer temperatures in parts of northern Mississippi tonight by only a few degrees. And that could be um, what keeps a lot of this freezing rain possibility in northeastern Mississippi from causing massive problems. You can see 32 degrees right now over northern Mississippi, but then as we go into the nighttime, that rises by a few degrees, which will maybe allow freezing stuff to melt. And so then by time we get into the morning hours, that cold front begins pushing through by 6 a.m. And so if I put this side by side, this is an hour 12. And so by 12Z, which is 6 a.m., you'll still have plenty of moisture to freeze up in northeastern Mississippi. And so that's what we're looking at as of right now. So I'm probably about to take a break for now. I will be ready to go live in the morning, probably around 3 a.m. Actually, that's why I'm going to take a break because I would like to at least get 5 hours of sleep tonight. So I'm going to go for now. I'll continue to do weather updates throughout the night until I wake up to do weather coverage in the morning. But just know I will more than likely be live around 3 a.m. getting ready to do coverage. So y'all stay safe and God bless for now. I say for now, I mean God bless always. Just sorry, I'll be back later. Y'all stay safe.